Oi, gits, it's me, Brack the War Boss, and I want you to listen to this Yumi talk about how he got into 40k, whatever that means.
Yep, it's Brack here with a second video. So before I go into it, I'm going to big shout out to 6 Plus Stevo for giving me the encouragement and to actually do this, and some of the kind words that he gave me on Facebook and on his live video, which was yesterday's morning, this morning. Who knows when you're going to see it? It was earlier. Well, for me, it was earlier today. This morning, in fact. So, yeah, thanks, Stevo, for giving me all the courage that I need. Please forgive me for some of these photos that I'll be showing you. They're all a bit old. Unfortunately, some of the new ones were taken on my phone in portrait, so I couldn't do all of them that I had. I thought I had loads, but I don't. So here's some really old photos. I'm going to have to go out and do some more, but I'll have to make sure it's all done in landscape. Okay, so how did I get into Warhammer 40k? Well, unlike most people out there, I didn't have a friend who was in it who introduced me to it, but I was introduced through my family, my daughter. Now, this story is about 10 years old. Yes, I've been in this hobby for 10 years, give or take. And okay, what happened? I'm sitting at work doing work stuff, and the phone rings, and it's the wife. She informs me that our daughter Emily wanted to go and check out what was inside the Warhammer 40k shop. It was a local one near us, and so she went in, and they wanted to know if she wanted to paint a little mini. So she did. She loved it. She loved it so much that my wife had to call me up and say, well, this is what she's doing, this is what you want to do, what she wants. Shall we get her a small kit? She wants to paint some Space Marines. There were some rats, but she didn't want the rats, so she went for the Space Marines. So I had a little think about it, about 6 seconds, because I had secretly been trying to get into this hobby, but as I said before, I didn't know anyone to kind of play with, and yeah, so I just sort of admired the hobby from afar. So I thought this was a great way to get into it, and it's something that looked like that the family could do. So the following weekend, the Saturday, went to the store, had a little bit of a look. The daughter was excited, the wife was excited, and if they're both excited, then I'm excited. And so we just had a little look, talked to the guys who were actually not very salesy, but very, very friendly. One of the friendliest stores I think I've ever been to was this one. Sadly, it's not there anymore, but that's a bit of an aside. And yeah, so we're just talking through options, and they said, well, your best bet is the Black Reach set. And I said, what about books and rules? I said, well, you've got enough, but you will need to buy some a bit later when you'll advance through, and you'll want to do it. And I said, all right, no worries. So I had a look at how much the codexes cost, and thought, well, yeah, okay, well, I'll do that, but I can do that later. So we got a Black Reach set, and I asked my daughter what she wanted to do. And she said, look, I want the Space Marines. So I got the Orcs by default. And I'll tell you what, it was serendipity. One of the sweetest choices that I never made, because really 10 years later I just haven't looked back. Orcs are just fantastic. And so yeah, as you can tell, I decided to go with Death Skulls. And why I did that, well, I'm going to save that for another time. So look, yeah, that's me. I got through the hobby in a roundabout way via the daughter. It's all family, good family fun. So I think I'm going to leave it there. And next video will be something a little bit different. I'm going to probably tell the story about how the Death Skulls happened via Brack. And yeah, it's going to be a little tricky, I think. So bear with me. I'll see how that goes. But until then, if you're going to crump, remember, bash early, bash often.